Hey class, this is your art teacher. I am making a video to help you guys make and create these cute little fish. Some of you have already got started on these and you are adding the tail, or you're adding the little side fins, or you're even adding the eyes. So this video is a quick little preview using some vocabulary and some helpful hints and tips to make this little clay project a success. Okay, so obviously we're using clay. The type of clay that we're using is white modeling clay. Can everybody say white modeling clay? Good job, guys. Okay, to begin our project, we're going to be starting with a pinch pot. Okay, pinch pot. Let me get some of these things out of the way so I can show you how we are starting with a pinch pot. Okay, first we need some tools. Okay, first we need some tools. I'm going to be calling table leaders to get our clay cloth, okay, as well as a rib tool. The rib tools that we're using are these right here, these little plastic cards that used to be gift cards, zero balance gift cards. So leaders, you need to get a rib tool for each person at your table. And leaders, you also need to get a scoring tool, okay? The scoring tool, everybody say scoring tool. Sometimes I will call this a score tool, okay? We are also going to need a variety of different types of tools, okay, like this one right here. This one's going to give us the indentions in the eyes, okay, poke, poke, okay, give us the indentions in our eyes. This could also help to make some marks on the fins, similar to what I've made on this fin right here. Okay, I can help you out with that tool right there. That's a various tool. Now another tool that I have is these little plastic, they're part of a plastic comb. Okay, and I made these. I'm going to show you how I made them real quick, okay? So table leaders, I also have these available for you guys so that each person can get one of these, okay? In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how I take these tools right here and make our own homemade, fairly inexpensive scoring tools, okay? So we've got our score tool, we've got our rib tool, we've got one of these right here. Oh, one of my favorite tools is just a plain popsicle stick. This is really good for smoothing out the clay, for taking the back of the eyes and smoothing them into the clay body. This is going to help attach them so that they'll stay just a little bit better. It also helps to smooth out any cracks that you may have, okay? Any cracks or rough edges. Oh, how could I forget a spritz bottle? Now sometimes we will be using slip, and sometimes we will just be using just a little spritz bottle. This one goes to the green table group. And you'll have about 3 or 4 of these per table group, so you and your elbow partner can share. If it's getting a little dry, if this is getting a little dry, just give a spritz. If it's difficult for you to press with your index finger, just go ahead and hold on to it like this and press with your thumb. Just make sure it's not squirting towards you. Make sure it's not spraying towards you, because you will get squirted in the face, okay? And remember, this is a tool, not a toy. Make sure you're also not squirting other people in the face. I've already got some score marks right here and here and here, because I'm going to be adding a tail, okay, right here, a tail fin, and then also some 2 side fins, okay? I want my side fins to be just a little ball of clay, which is what I'm going to show you in just a minute, and then I want my tail fin to be just a little bit bigger, okay? Did you notice how I smoothed it in so that they look nice and well attached? It looks like he's scared. What have you done to me face, Miss Boone? Okay. I think they might look a little scary. Definitely have their mouth open wide. I still think they're cute. If you would like to split the tail, you can do that as well. I did that with a popsicle stick for this tail. Okay. So I'm going to move some of these tools out of my way. Okay, so I'm actually working upside down. So what you're seeing is you would put your tools like away from you, further away from you, and have your clay cloth in front of you. The clay cloth helps your clay not to stick to the table, and it makes it easier for you to move around if you need to move it. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't forget anything. Another vocabulary, greenware, before our clay is fired, okay, when it looks like this, it is in a very, very fragile state. A great challenge question or a great game question would be, what is greenware? Or can you tell me what phase in the process of drawing is this? You would say greenware. Greenware is clay that has not been fired yet, okay? Once it has been fired, it's called bisqueware. This one has been fired. Both of these right here are the exact same kind of clay. Okay. You can also see right here where I've used some of my tools, maybe like a popsicle stick, to indent and make the fish scales. You can do that on yours if you would like to. You don't have to. Again, it's your choice. What's most important with our first fish that we've ever made, you might have made one before, but if you've never made one before, the most important thing is to make sure that all of these parts and pieces are nice and secure. We do not want them to fall off, okay? We need to make sure that everything is nice and secure. When we touch it, it should not fall apart, okay? Okay, so what I have over here for you, let me get some things out of the way, is the scales. You know, let me backtrack real quick, because I told you I was going to show you how I make these score tools. So I go ahead and order. I ordered a mass quantity of these, okay, 50, 25, 50, I think. And then I'm going to use these. These are heavy duty snips, like wire snips. And the way that they're engineered is it takes a little bit of pressure rather than a whole lot of pressure to cut this, okay? So some of you guys might be engineers someday and make supplies and equipment that we can use in the art room. So I'm just going to give it a firm squeeze. Yes, I do have to squeeze it firmly, but these wire snips do the work for me. They're like extra heavy duty wire snips. Okay. Anyway, so you guys get the gist of that. And then this gives us these little pieces that we can use. I might go ahead and turn these into these by using 3 popsicle sticks, putting them together. Okay, I'm still trying to decide if my students like this or not. I'm going to give you guys a choice. You guys let me know if you like these right here, these score tools, better, or if you like these score tools. Okay, these are score tools or scoring tool. Okay, that would be a great challenge question again. Okay, so let's get that off to the side. I'm going to try to make this video not too long. Okay, so instead of putting this fish, this is one I'm working on for a student, instead of putting it this way where it's going to fall backwards, I'm going to go ahead and lay it face down. Okay, you're okay, Mr. Fish, you'll be fine. I'll put you up in just a minute. But first, I need to give you a tail. I'm going to go ahead and get my scales out. And I'm going to weigh, make sure it's set to 0. Okay, make sure it's set to 0. I'm looking in the camera. Okay. I'm going to weigh out about, let me start with a new piece of clay. Okay, let's do about, for the tail, between 6 to 8. Let me see, 6 to 8. Had to look at that. It's hard to see upside down. The video camera doesn't always show electronics very good. So about 0.06 to 0.08 ounces. Okay, so that would be about half of an ounce. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll this out. I'm gonna go ahead and make the tail because I want him to be a little bit more sturdy because he keeps falling back. Okay, poor Mr. Fishy. He needs some balance. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this out in my hand. Okay, I'm gonna give a little squeeze, and I can definitely pause this video for you guys if you need to watch this in a picture frame, or I can even play it in slow motion. Okay, this is the part that's gonna be attached to the fish. I'm gonna give it a tap on the table to flatten it out. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and use this little score tool. Check it out, see how well it works. I'm gonna score the part of the fish that I'm attaching, the tail, and I'm also gonna score this part. Okay, so I'm making horizontal scratch marks. Okay, horizontal scratch marks right there. I'm gonna put that one down. I'm gonna make horizontal scratch marks right here. Okay, I like the one that has the broader texture. Let me see if this one works. Yeah, okay. I like that one a little bit better. It's not quite such a thin. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, then I'm gonna score. I'm gonna spritz. Okay, score and spritz, or we'd add some slip to it. For this new build, I like this right here. Then I'm going to smush. Let me show you up closer. I'm gonna smush that. Okay, smush it in there. I'm gonna give the tail a squeeze. I like to bend mine ever so slightly to make it look like he's kind of in swimming motion. Okay, then we're gonna use, actually one of my favorite tools, plain old popsicle stick. Okay, when you're using your popsicle stick, if you find that it has a lot of extra clay on it because somebody before you used it, you can just get your rib tool, you can just scratch that off. Okay, just scratch that off. That's gonna get all that extra dry clay off, and then you have a nice smooth wooden surface again. Okay, on your popsicle stick. And then I'm going to cup that in my hand, hold it very gently. I'm gonna smooth that out, join that into the fish body. And that's gonna make that one solid piece of clay. That's gonna help that to be a lot more sturdy, okay? And then if I need to, I can go back and I can smooth that out. Now with your spritz bottle, guys, if all of your fingers are really wet like that, okay, then you might have used a little bit too much water there. And I did wet this down quite a bit, but after just a minute or two, like my fingers should be dry again. So if you have, if you've used way too much water in your clay, it's gonna be hard to work with. And we don't want it to be too soft and too flimsy because it doesn't hold shape if it's too flimsy, okay? We want it kind of wet, but not sopping wet like it just poured down rain on our little fishy, okay? He'll eventually get back in the water, not today. Okay, and then if I'm noticing that there's some other areas on here that need to be smoothed out, I can do that as well, okay? Okay. Now I'm going to focus on these eyes that we've already scored and slipped and then smushed, score, slip, or spritz and smush the eyes on there. I'm going to make sure that they're nice and rounded. I'm going to push, okay, push that inward and kind of rotate it around just a little bit. Do the same thing over here. Okay, we kind of want our fish to be looking the same direction, like it looks like its eyes are looking at you. Let me redo that one. You poor little fish. Looks like you might need to go to the eye doctor. Okay, there we go. And you can work on that a little bit more to make sure that they're nice and rounded, okay? Okay. And some of you may just want to just push straight in there and come straight back out. Or if you don't like the way it looks, you can get your popsicle stick and you can smear and smudge that back out again and give it another try. Yeah, it's a little bit harder for me if I'm doing it into the camera and I'm not actually seeing what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and give them some side fins right there. And it might be a good idea for us to follow along with this video I'll let you guys watch this video so you know what to do today, and then I will rewind the video, and we'll go back a little bit, and we will do this together, okay? So this right here is for a side fin. This I have 0.5, I'm sorry, earlier I said 0.05 ounce. I'm sorry, I was looking at this upside down. It's actually 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. Okay, please forgive me. I was looking at this upside down and I just saw please forgive me, I was wrong. So it's 0.5 ounce or 0.6 ounce, okay? Okay, but again, like I don't edit my videos, so I'm not gonna go back and fix that, but okay. This is gonna be for my side fin, okay? So I'm gonna make this little fin over here. I'm gonna tamp this on the table. Tamp, 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 tamp. Okay, I'm gonna get my scoring tool, my score tool. I'm gonna give it a scratch. Scratch, slip or spritz, and push. Okay, and then I'm going to join it. I'm gonna use my popsicle stick. I'm going to join it, okay? And if it's easier for you to do this in your hand, that's fine. If it's easier for you to do it with your clay project or clay fish flat on the table, that's fine too. You can keep it on your clay cloth, okay? Then I'm gonna take a look at my fish. I'm gonna evaluate, wait a minute. Let me reshape this right here. So I'm just gonna give it a little push and a little squeeze. Okay, and it's still going to stay connected to the fish. Give it a little indent in there. It's still going to stay connected to the fish, but I can reshape it a little bit, okay? And remember, I still want this to be nice and thick. You don't want to get your little parts and pieces in your tail. You don't want to get those too thin, okay? If you do thin it out, you can take your popsicle stick and you can kind of smush it down, or worst case scenario, you can fold over the clay so that it overlaps itself to make it a little bit thicker. You don't want it to get too thin, okay? Even at the front part of the lips of your fish, we don't want that to be too thin either. Okay, so I'm gonna continue and I'm gonna add this other fin over here, okay? And when we get cleaned up, you're going to bring, okay, even if our timer goes off and you're not finished, we still gotta stop. I know it's frustrating. I would love it if we had more time to work on this as well. But I will see you next art period. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you can either clean up your mess right now, or you can go walk this over to our red tray. You're gonna look for your name on your name card. And where it says place your clay artwork here, you're just gonna put that clay on there like that. And then we're gonna fold it upward. So next time when we come to class, we can see who this belongs to, okay? And then I will make sure to cover up all of this with a black plastic, okay? Then when you come back to your table, we're gonna go ahead and put, what I would do if it was me, table leaders you guys can choose, but what I would do is I would gather up, or have one person gather up all the score tools. So hey, do you mind being in charge of the score tools, okay? And then that person will put all the score tools in this can. If they get mixed up, it's okay, guys. We can sort it later, because I know sometimes at the end of class we're a little rushed. So we'll put the score tools in here, okay? Maybe one person can be in charge of the score tools, okay? Maybe somebody else can be in charge of the popsicle sticks, okay? Getting all the popsicle sticks in there. Maybe somebody else can be in charge of grabbing up all of the cloths. And even a third person or a fourth person, because there's probably 5, 6, or 7 people at your table, one person can be in charge of collecting all of the, let me grab a hold of these right here, all of the extra sculpting tools. And then lastly, we can have another person collect all of our rib tools, okay? Let's make sure we don't throw these away. We're starting to lose some of these. They're ending up on the floor at the end of the class. Just make sure we get all these picked up. Okay, guys? I try to pick up as much as I can at the end of the day. Every now and then, one doesn't get picked up. So let's make sure we keep all of our supplies so that we have them next time we get together in art class, okay? Okay. I love you guys. You guys are doing such a great job. I'm so lucky, so proud to be your art teacher. If you did not today, if you did not get your fingernails clipped, go ahead and do that for next time, and make sure that we always have our hair pulled back. If you haven't started working on this yet, if you have big bulky sleeves or a big coat, you can take those off, or you can push up your sleeves, okay? And then of course, these are the tools that we use every week, okay? So, and before I say adieu, these little fish would love to say goodbye to you. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.